What's up, everyone? This is Voces Unidas on KROJ 101.5 FM. We are produced by Valley Views SFE Media and Voces Unidas in Pacoima. Your hosts tonight are Diosi,
Melissa,
and Theodora.
And we're here. We're back since Thanksgiving. We haven't really met up and, had a nice little sit down. I was here in the studio last Monday with Comadre Maria, and we talked about Wicked.
Oh, nice.
And so that was a nice show with Sarai Sepulveda from Tia Chuchas.
Awesome.
They host a book club out there if anybody's looking for a nice activity. Tia Chuchas has book club. And you guys can find out more information on Instagram at Tia Chuchas. But how are you guys? Like, how's Teodora? How's Melissa? How are you guys doing this season?
I'm doing great. And before we get started, I just really want to make sure that we do a land acknowledgement. And as if you guys remembered in our past episodes through the season, we have been aiming towards being intentional about the acknowledgement of the land that we occupy. And we occupy right now, we're in San Fernando on the territory of the Fernandino, Tatavi, and Banamishan Indians. And we have a land acknowledgement, to recognize the tribe that is still here to this day. And we derived it straight from the website. So folks who are interested in doing intentional land acknowledgements, make sure that you are accessing it from the source directly. But today we recognize and honor the original occupants and stewards of the land on which we now gather. Many of us joined this gathering from lands that are the traditional home territory of the Fernandino, Tatavi, and Banamishan Indians. Voces Unidas recognizes and thanks the first people of this ancestral and unceded territory of the Fernandino, Tatavi, and Banamishan Indians, which is now occupied by the city of LA and residents like ourselves. It is important to honor their elders, past and present, and descendants who are citizens of the Fernandino, Tatavi, and Banamishan Indians. We recognize that the tribe is still here, and we are committed to uplifting their stories, their culture, and their community. And to plug some recent activities from the Fernandino, Tatavi, and Banamishan Indians, you can always follow their Instagram, Fernandino Tatavian, where they post updates. And as of most recently, they have a Tahar magazine that is online. It's live, and it was originally published in the 1900s. And the Fernandino Tatavian Banamishan Indian is proud to publish this winter 2024-25 issue. So feel free to go check them out, give them some love online, and just make sure that you stay up to date.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
So how was Thanksgiving? I'm so sorry about that. But how was your Thanksgiving?
Good. I spent it in the valley, so it was really chill. It was a little different for me because typically my family gets together every year, but this time around my mom traveled out of the state. My brothers have their own families, so they got to spend their time together. So I third wheeled with my sister, my sister Irene, and I joined her in Silmar with her partner's family. And it was the first time I really got to hang out with them and like a one-on-one. And I was just like, yeah, so what are you thankful for? And like we're just like sharing a bit. I was like, what's your favorite song? So I was just hanging out, and we ate a different type of meal, which is not traditional Thanksgiving meal, but again, it honestly I loved it because Thanksgiving is centered in a weird history, colonial history,
lies, genocide.
Right. So last month was just the American Indian History Month and Native American History Month, and I was very aware of that, so I felt kind of cool to eat birria turkey. It was not as traditional.
Oh, interesting.
So it was really cool. I didn't get to my mashed potatoes or anything like that. My family usually does that type of meal, and we just sit and we thank each other and we share our gratefulness. But I don't know. Last year at New Year's, I also didn't spend it like with my sister, so I was just like, this is so nice. And I'm very, as you can tell, I'm very attached to my sister Irene. We're like twins, so I was like, yeah, I'm sure
not
custody.
not your older sister, the oldest sister over here feeling so sad. But you know what?
Oh, I
When she
usually
says,
spend it with her.
When she says, I usually spend it with my family. I'm family. That's
Yeah.
why I was out of town.
You left her.
I left her.
But I had a good Thanksgiving though.
But I'm
That's
glad you were
good.
able to spend time with Irene. You guys had fun. I got a picture of the birria turkey. It looked bomb.
That's so
Oh man, it looked so good. I'm like, honestly, I hope I get to try it one day because like I've never heard of birria turkey in my life.
Yeah, no.
It was
Me
unique.
neither. How was yours, Desi?
Well, I spent my Thanksgiving out in the Los Padres National Forest in a cabin with Comadre Maria, Compadre Mike, with Daniel, with the kids, and with Ana, my best friend. Yeah, my friends brought their dogs. I didn't bring my dogs because my dogs are a little they're a little much, and I didn't trust my little one to like respect the space. So I was like, you know what, like, please, sisters that are gonna be together, can you watch my dogs? And they were so kind, and you know they did watch my dogs, so it was nice. But what about you? How was yours?
Mine was good. I spent it like I have been spending it for the past 25 years. So we always have Thanksgiving at my parents' house, and I like all the sides of the family come. So it's a very large affair. There's like, I think there was 21 of us on Thanksgiving this year, which was really fun.
Wow.
There actually should have been more people, but some folks couldn't come down just because of like health reasons and stuff. But it was really fun. Nick, who's my boyfriend, his dad and his brother came down for the first time. So that was really nice. We've been together for like 5 years, so it's like wasn't that big of a deal, but like it was still really fun to like have them and like have them be part of like the family. And they're a small unit. They normally have Thanksgiving with just like them up there with like Nick's dad, mom, and brother, and I take their eldest son away from them. So I was like, you guys should come down and like have Thanksgiving because I feel a little guilty taking your eldest son. But yeah, that was really fun. His mom couldn't make it, sadly, but we got to spend time with them, and I was like, you guys are more than welcome to come on Christmas because. Yeah, if you guys want, because it's just the three of them up there. So I was like, just come if you want.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. I think they got along like really well with my family, and we're a bunch of yappers. So it was just like they folded in really easily with like the crowd of us. So that was really fun. It was funny like introducing him to my grandma, or my abuela, because she was like, what's abuela in English? She was like, what is that? And I'm like, grandma. And she's like, I'm their grandma. And it was just really cute. I think she first said Thea, and I was like, that's not true. She's not my mom's sister. She's my mom's mom. So that was really funny. But yeah, all in all, it was great. It was a long week that I was with my family and my friends. When I spent like the whole week in Ventura, so when I got back home finally, I was like, I need to sleep and veg and vibe because that was a lot of social interaction and the battery is gone. So I worked Tuesday through Saturday, so that Monday I kind of just like vegged out and did nothing. And then had like a pretty chill week at work. It was super chill actually, but yeah, it was super fun. I got to like spend time with friends and family, so
I love that.
I liked it. It was a good break. Yeah, it was nice. It's the same group of people that have been around for the past 20 years, 25 years, so it's nothing crazy, but it's just like a lot of people. So I feel
mean,
like
tradition is like very overrated, you know, like is that the right term?
Underrated.
Underrated. It's very underrated these days. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I love a little tradition, you know, like family traditions or like friend traditions.
And speaking about traditions, I felt like a lot of people this year broke their natural thought of what Thanksgiving stands for them. And I saw online through the day people posting Thanksgiving as the National Day of mourning. And I think that is like also underrated. It's like making sure that, you know, folks know that shift in the way that you represent a holiday you grew up with, that was meant to, you know, give thanks to family. And we were taught in very colonial terms what Thanksgiving was by Christopher Columbus. But online, I saw a lot of my peers that I felt thankful for it, because I was like, I have the right FYP, I have the right people online.
Right, totally.
Because they are recognizing that it is a day that a lot of folks lost their families in America. And that there was a genocide that occurred, and they're shifting the way that they celebrate that day and not making it centric to the American culture of colonialism and that day, that history. So I think it's so cool that, you know, going back to shifting and the way that we all celebrate, making sure that we stay aware of the way that we celebrate American holidays, because
no, totally.
We're shifting ourselves.
Yeah.
Ever shifting.
No, I love that. There was one other thing that I wanted to talk about before we go on break, and that was the Spotify/Apple like Wrapped Rewind thing.
Oh my God.
That came out because we were kind of texting about it, and I just thought that I wanted Theo to say what she texted me because I thought it was really funny.
What'd you say?
Melissa influenced my music a lot this year. I had a couple songs on here that were my top ones that were because Melissa shared them with me. Like a change is gonna come by Sam Cooke. Chapel Roan I was introduced to by Melissa on it was a couple weeks before Dolores Ureta's birthday, and when we celebrated, but that night that we drove really solidified her as an artist for me. And it was right before she blew up, so she was one of my top artists, and Mel really shifted my music this year.
My fingers on the pulse.
Yeah.
Of the music scene.
I took a couple of road trips with Mel this year, and I have to say that Mel also influenced my music taste this year. Yeah, we spent quite a bit of time.
We did take a lot of road trips, actually. Yeah, we did.
We spent a lot of time on the road.
We skirted around for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's always fun. I just think that it's such a fun little like moment to look at the music that we've been listening to, and listen to like a lot of Cowboy Carter.
Did any of your music choices like surprise you?
I mean, I listened to a lot of Taylor Swift, and like that shouldn't have surprised me, but I'm still shocked every year of the amount of time I actually do listen to her.
Oh man.
But then like other ones wasn't like I listened to a lot of alternative stuff, so I was like listening to a lot of like Noah Kahan and like old Lumineers stuff, and then I was listening to a lot of like Cowboy Carter by Beyonce. That album was like top notch, and then also I listened to a lot of Casey Musgraves, which I didn't realize. And like that's country, so that's a bit different for me, so I listened to a lot of country this year.
I was heavy on like alternative, like rock, country,
alt rock country vibes, yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. But I think we'll probably go on break and have a little music session.
Yes. So, y'all, we are going to go ahead and take a break. You guys are listening to Voces Unidas on KROJ 101.5 FM. We are produced by Valley Views SFE Media and Voces Unidas in Pacoima. We have a playlist made by the one and only Alex Infinity. It's called Las Comadres, Locals Only, on Spotify, where you can find it if you guys want to listen to these songs that you guys are about to hear. But we'll be right back, y'all. We're back. And we're here with our first guest from the M.A.C.T project. We're here with Miranda. Hi, Miranda. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Miranda, we've kind of connected, online on Instagram, but never really like fully in person. You guys have a restaurant, right?
My mom does.
Yeah.
Along with my stepdad here in Pacoima, actually. So I guess that's kind of how I got it more involved with the community.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
We've been here 5 years now.
5 years. Okay,
recently.
cool.
What's it called?
Sabor a la Mexicana.
Nice.
Yeah, down Van Nuys.
Yeah, I've been there. That's where I've seen you. I know we've connected there. And I kind of put two and two together the last time I was there with my kids, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the girl. But I'm so glad you reached out. Thank you for, all the work that you're doing. But I wanted to give you the opportunity to, like, kind of introduce the M.A.C.T project. And, like, what is the M.A.C.T project? What does the M.A.C.T project represent?
Well, M.A.C.T itself stands for Motivating Art in the Community Together. I started it my junior year of high school, so I guess I can say a year now. I'm a senior now, so about a year.
Wow.
It started as a passion project for me, per se. JP, Juan Pablo Murals, he was actually painting a mural at the restaurant when I was like, I want to do something. I've been volunteering, doing a lot of community work, but I want to do something that's mine, something that I can control. I can have creative liberty with it.
Right.
So I asked him, I was like, would you be interested? Do you know people that would be interested? He's like, no, yeah, I've been wanting to do something in my community. This is amazing. That was about, what can I say, January. But I had already kind of started something. I wasn't sure how I was going to start with it. It was my first time. I had no experience doing anything by myself. But yeah, our first class was in March. We learned a lot since then. We used to host classes at the restaurant, and then we moved over to Pacoima City Hall, which was amazing because we were usually like either in the heat, or in the cold, in the wind. So being inside was like a big change. But yeah, we provide free art classes for kids in the community with the help of volunteering artists. The classes are free of charge, and we try to learn from the parents, from kids, from the students, from the community themselves too, about what they want to see. I know Pacoima's an art-filled community, and having the kids know the artist, their story, I think is something very important.
I would agree.
That's amazing.
Well,
first I just want to say that's so inspiring. Oh my God, you're so young. Like, that's beautiful. Like,
Thank you.
that's like, it's just so good to hear. And something that, like, we've been on, like, our theme for the past couple of months has been roots and resilience. And I was wondering, like, if you could kind of talk about, you kind of talked about, like, the restaurant that your mom has in Pacoima, and, like, the volunteer work that you've done in the past, and, like, can you kind of talk how all of those instances, like, really kind of fostered this ability to kind of, and this want to like start this project that you're doing? And also, if you wouldn't mind, like, talking about what those volunteer experiences were before.
No, I how you say, I'm not much like, what can I say, like to talk about myself, but when it comes to like volunteering, I can yap so much.
Yes, please.
I started volunteering, I guess. I mean, to start, I do online school. When people hear that, they're kind of like iffy about it, but like, I have so much liberty and flexibility of what I could do. I actually started volunteering. My biology teacher told me, you should do something, and I was like, okay, well, tell me what to do. And she's like, well, I volunteered in a hospital, you should go ahead. And I did that. It was a long process. I can say it's not easy, like, oh, go somewhere, can I start? They'll start. It was a long process. It took a couple of months. But I was there, actually, Providence Holy Cross for a year and a half, almost 2 years. It was an amazing experience with so many nurses, the patients, being able to, support them in a way. The nurses, I grew really close with them. I stopped going there just because my schedule got very busy. But I've done volunteer work, online tutoring with elementary school kids. Right now, actually, for Dignity Hospital Northridge, I help them with special events, the fundraising committee. So that's the nurses from Providence actually recommended me to them. And what else have I done? I don't know. Also, I'm blank. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to do something that I would be able to, contribute to. Also, at the restaurant, I tell them, like, try to do something for the community. We've hosted a couple of events. What would you say? Like, I try to get them more into, like, fundraising too.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's something that, even as a small business, you can do your own. You can contribute in some way.
Yeah.
That would help the community.
Totally.
I love the way that, you have taken your work and kind of, like, used it as inspiration to push forward and, bring it into, like, your parents' work. And can you talk a little bit about like what that experience has been like with your parents and like doing all the community work that you're doing, and have they always understood, you know, or is it something that you had to explain to them? Like, how was that process for you guys? I know your dad is here today.
Yes.
Hola, papá. Gracias por estar aquí.
Yeah. Well, I guess when my teacher told me that, my mom was kind of skeptical about it, that I would want to. I mean, I had always been interested in medicine. Even now, like, that's what I want to do in the future. But I guess she understood. She just wasn't sure because of the whole online school. I was kind of more reserved child student. I kind of still am. It is hard for me to like open up. So she was a bit skeptical about that. But then when I just started going through the process, she's like, okay, well, she's gonna do it.
Yeah.
So she started it. So but yeah, no, she liked it. She loved the nurses. She met them. She made lunches for them when it was like my last week, because she knew how much I loved them, how much they were supportive of me, and what I did as well. But I mean, the restaurant, it's, how can you say, it is a family business. So it is something that I had to help even now. And it's something that's grown thanks to like social media and stuff like that I know that I handle the social media. So it's something that I know that I've contributed to in some way. But like I said, I tell them, like, try to help in your own way, even though it's a small business. Everyone, even as an individual, can make some type of change in the community or inspire others to do. So, yeah.
And what about with your work that you're doing now with your own endeavor with M.A.C.T? Like, how would you say that they've reacted to that success? Because it's very successful.
Well, at the beginning, again, skeptics like, oh, are you sure this is gonna work? And I was like, it's because I know many of the artists. I've told them, I've reached out, as hard as it is for me to express what I feel, and they're supportive. And my mom's like, okay, well, then you'll have to do it on your own because I'm busy with the restaurant. And I was like, okay. So for the many months leading up to, I believe it was about 6 months, I did all the setup by myself, which is with the hot days, it was very, very like a workload. But even until now, it's a one-woman show, I guess you can say. So like setup, social media, parent contacts, class planning, that's all me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Girl.
just that's like the artists, they give their time.
Can you guys hear my our fingers snapping?
The artists give their time, so I was like, they're helping me so much. They should just be able to come in and everything's ready for them, to do everything. But I mean, the parents are so supportive. They come in early, they help with the setup. If they leave, they're able to stay in a little bit. They help me clean up. So I was like, I'm very thankful for them, for them to give us the opportunity, because we are not just like I would say official nonprofit. We are a community initiative. To give us opportunity to show that we can still do the same work as a nonprofit.
Right. And how did you go from like volunteering at like the hospital? I know like you're doing helping out with JP and his mural, but like how did it go into just doing these like art classes? Was it like really JP's influence, or like was it something that you were already like thinking about? Like what kind of how did that come about?
Well, I guess I've always said I wanted to work with kids. So as like I was in the maternity unit with the babies, tutoring with the kids, but I wanted to do something like physical with them, have the kids somewhere all together, being able to be with them. And with the art, well, I mean, I know Pacoima, like I said, it's very art influenced. So many murals left and right. I mean, even they're just at the restaurant. We have 2 murals inside, one in the parking lot by Levi, by JP, a bunch of things. And I forgot which one they were doing at the time. I saw something where they were painting a mural. The artist sketches it out, and then kids go in and actually paint the mural. So at first, I guess you can say I didn't know much, so I was like, very far-fetched idea. I said, oh, let's have kids make murals, but it's not that easy to just help them make murals. So I was like, oh, hey, what if we do classes? Which is why I asked JP, and he already had some teaching experience, so that's why it worked out that way.
So you kind of just like...
Was it the Broadest Elementary mural painting?
You know,
it was in Pacoima.
I don't even know. It was also kind of like me and my mom have this thing where we we like think of something but we don't say it, and then when we finally come out, it's like we thought the same thing. It's like in a way we share a brain.
It's
Yeah.
in tune.
Yeah, I guess I'm like really close with her because also like the restaurant we spend, like I do, like I said, online school. I'm at home all day
Yeah.
when I'm not doing anything else, so I'm just with her the whole time. So it's kind of we share a brain now. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I'm a little bit, like, taken aback by just, like the woman that I have in front of me. Just,
Yeah.
like, it, you know, it's very inspiring, you know, because as, like, a founder myself, you know, my co-founders here, like, we know how hard it is to bring something up from the ground and to have community support and find the value in the work that you're doing, and to find it that something that's necessary and needed in the community.
Yeah, I guess also to answer Melissa's question, I completely, it's just like so many things influenced at the same time that honestly I forget, kind of like this thing. But my brother, elementary school age, he was taking private art classes, but I was also saying that like not all the kids have the opportunity to take private classes. I was like, just because they're free, that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be with amazing talented artists that are local, that they know, they've seen their work driving to school, and they're able to meet them, learn from them. So I was like, that's something also that really influenced it. Yeah.
So, you know, now that we know a little bit about M.A.C.T project, we know what it stands for and what it represents. You know, what do you see for the M.A.C.T project in the future? I know we're going to talk right now a little bit about an event that you have coming up. But we are wrapping up this year. Yes. We're going into next year. I'm sure you have a lot of plans for next year. Is there anything you can share right now with community that maybe they can look forward to?
Well, I think, what can I say? We've had 2 instances where we were, what would you say, kind of like offered help. And we're like, oh, this is the thing that's going to expand us big. But I think it was a thing of I wanted to grow, that I was kind of like, what would you say, going fast with everything. And they ended up not working out, not because of that, not because of the speed that I was going at, because they were kind of off, what would you say, putting rules on us that they would put on a nonprofit. And because we were, like I said, we are a community initiative, not them, like we don't have like a team. So it's not something that we would have been able to work with them. But right now, I guess we're focused on growing, getting more artists, more students involved, maybe changing the way we lay out classes. Because it was just like, oh, we have this group. If someone leaves, somebody new comes in. We were thinking of doing like sessions, like a couple of weeks, and then a new group comes in, just so everyone has the opportunity. Because we don't know if we don't know when we're gonna have the last person on the wait list in.
You remind me a lot of this Oakland organizer. Her name is Desiree Johnson. She started the BizStoop California Youth Rising program, and it's meant to help young leaders like yourself find that entrepreneurship, because what you're doing is molding together your knowledge of business and community, and also like those aspects of like the nonprofit world, because like you said, it doesn't always work as a nonprofit when you're working at a certain speed, or when you don't have that title, because sometimes titles can be very restrictive. But you remind me of her a lot, because it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of organizing, it takes a lot of thinking the roots to build up to where you want to be. And maybe you don't know exactly where you want to be yet, but you know where the direction that your path you're taking. But going back to Diosi's question, is there, aside from arts and in the community, have you thought about expanding to different forms of art? Is it just specifically murals that you focus on, or is it poems or anything like that in the community that you've also wanted to express in? Oh, that's a question. Sorry, I kind of ended that in non-question.
Well, again, like at first I was kind of like going at like a running speed. I said, okay, let's do dance and music, and I was like, wait, that's not possible to do at the same time. Let's start with something, establish ourselves, and then we'll continue. But it's like something, what can you say? Something that I like secretly love that I don't say to the public is theater. So I was like, oh, how would I love to have the kids put on a production? It's like something that I'm really interested in. So I mean, I would really like to move on to that, kind of like the acting scene. But yeah, I mean, let's see where we go. Like I said, I kind of want to establish how we are first with what we started, and then kind of be able to expand how more, credibility?
Yeah,
forward.
credibility.
Yeah.
Well, we're super excited to see, you know, the M.A.C.T project continue to unfold, and, you know, to continue to, you know, follow in the success that you've already had. Because just like having this conversation with you right now, I can tell like this is just gonna be something super successful, and you know, pulling in names like JP Mural and all the other artists that I've seen that you work with are very established artists, like you said, and so that's something within itself that you should be very proud of, and you should, you know, always, you know, you I'm sure you know it, but you can do whatever you set your mind to. Before we go into the event that's coming up, I want to ask your dad a question.
Oh.
If that's okay. Le voy a hacer una pregunta, señor. So we're going to switch up to Spanish for our bilingual listeners. If you don't speak Spanish, tune in a little bit. But, oiga, ¿cómo se siente usted tener a su hija aquí platicando con nosotros aquí en el radio sobre este proyecto que empezó, como ella dice, de su pasión?
Sí.
¿Usted cómo le hace a usted sentir eso?
Muy buenas noches, gracias por la oportunidad de tener a mi hija aquí. Es un orgullo para mí tener a mi hija y que ella lo que ha logrado a su edad que tiene. Me siento un padre muy orgulloso y una gran felicidad que me da, ¿verdad?
Sí. Pues muchísimas
gracias Miranda.
Sí,
Okay.
gracias por apoyarla.
Y gracias por la oportunidad que le están dando a ustedes, muchas gracias.
Sí,
Okay.
no, gracias, porque hay muchos papás que no pueden o no saben apoyar a sus hijos en las pasiones.
Sí.
Sabemos los deberes, sabemos lo que nos pide la sociedad, pero a veces todo eso no es la pasión. No es, lo que está haciendo su hija, la arte, es algo que hasta en las escuelas han dicho que no es necesario y lo han quitado, ¿verdad? Y lo que su hija está haciendo es porque ella vio que no todos los niños pueden tener este recurso que ayuda tanto con la salud mental, con muchas cosas en el cuerpo, con, expresarse. Entonces, sí, quería decirle también a usted muchas gracias y felicidades por tener una hija tan inteligente, tan motivada para apoyar a su comunidad, porque es algo muy inspirado. Sí, nos da mucha inspiración. Sí, y nuestro español es un poquito, como dice mi hermana acá, de rata.
Como no, eso dice Cardi B, pero a veces le dijimos ratatata.
Pero aquí nos comunicamos como sea y nos da mucho gusto tenerlos aquí. Y con eso le vamos a dar a ella la oportunidad de decirle a la comunidad lo que está pasando diciembre 11. So we're going to give Miranda the opportunity to let us know what's happening December 11th.
Yeah. Well, we had to pause classes for a bit, couple weeks, just to right now with the holidays and everything, everyone's busy, everyone's traveling, so a bit less kids are showing up. So we're like, okay, right now we're gonna put a pause on it, let everyone enjoy their holiday. But on December 11th, we're gonna be having a community Christmas event. I guess what I wanted to do since the beginning with the M.A.C.T project is include the kids, share my passion of giving back. So we're, in a way, partnering with Cards for Hospitalized Kids. So we're inviting everyone in the community to participate. They'll be able to make cards. We'll send them over to them, and they'll be distributed to hospitalized kids all over the country. So it's something, we'll have all the materials. It's a free entry.
Yes.
We're going to have raffles, gifts, games, and food by Sabor Mexicana. And we'll have face painting for the kids by actually one of the parents of the kids. So she's also
One of the
words.
artists?
She's one of the art. Yeah, she's an artist. She's also really talented. She's been super helpful from the beginning. So I'm like super happy to have her. But yeah, we'll be having a lot of community. What is it? Community building. Everyone is invited. It's gonna be at Sabor a la Mexicana on Wednesday, December 11th from 4 to 7.
Thank you. Well, there you guys have it. So, Voces Unidas as a team, some of us will be there. And so we look forward to, being in community with you, and whoever decides to, come out and support. And again, guys, this is the M.A.C.T project. This is going to be the M.A.C.T project on Instagram. If you guys want to connect or figure out how to support, that's where you can find them. So, Miranda, thank you so much. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
And again, you guys are tuned into Voces Unidas on KROJ 101.5 FM. This is a show produced by Voces Unidas in Pacoima and Valley Views SFB Media. Your hosts tonight are Diosi,
Melissa,
and Theodora.
and we'll be right back, y'all.